welcome back. I thought I would just sit down with you guys and talk through some random book things that have been going through my mind and just give you a little bit update on my reading goals, my reaction to the Sunrise on the Reaping trailer, give you a little bit of book recs for coming up on the Christmas season, and also maybe just some recent reviews that I've been reading for some books. So just thought we'd just chat and get right into it. Okay, so first I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an update on my reading goal. Last night I just hit 118 out of my 130 goal, so very close. My goal for this week specifically is to finish 2 books, and then I can finish the rest of them later in the month because we go on this trip right after Christmas every year where we rent a place just for a weekend right after Christmas, and it's basically just a relaxing weekend. We do nothing. We just hang out, we walk around, we do things, but a lot of the time, especially the car ride down, is me reading. So I've gotten through, I think last year, I got through 3 or 4 books in that weekend alone. And then we're also talking about the week before because I'm taking 2 weeks off for Christmas. And so that week before, week of Christmas, I am doing a lot, but I also have more time to read, so then I can get to the other 3, 4 books that I need done to reach my 130 goal. So we're gonna be able to get there. Really hoping so. I think I've set myself up pretty good with the books I have coming up that I want to read, so it will go a little bit quicker for me. But yeah, I would have finished it. I would have been in a no-brainer situation if I did not go through a reading slump this last month. I've been really fighting it the past 2 months. I just haven't found anything that I really, really wanted to read. And I think that was the issue. I wasn't finding things that were automatically interesting for me. I hadn't gone to the bookstore in a month or 2, and I hadn't been looking for book recommendations, so I was just scrolling through Kindle Unlimited. I'm things jumping out at me. I don't want to read any of these. What am I gonna do? I kept on starting books and being oh, this is just so boring. I don't want to read this. And that's not what you want. You want it to be interesting. And so luckily I found a few good books the last week, 2, that have really got me excited back into reading, and I'm there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Thank God, because I really was struggling there. And so now that I'm, fingers crossed, out of this reading slump, we're on the right track. Here's hoping. I feel like I keep saying I'm out of the reading slump and then I'm not. It's also a part of the fact that I'm changing the books I'm wanting to read. And I feel like I talked about that in a past video recently, where I'm wanting more women's literature as opposed to romance novels. And so it's hard to find those for me sometimes because I'm always hesitant because I'm this can be just really depressing, and I don't know if I want to read a depressing book at this moment. But what I'm really meaning is I'm looking for a book that's gonna have some real meat to it, some real depth. And when I do pick those up and I do start reading it, I'm no, this is amazing. Wayward is a perfect example. I went into that book with no idea what it was, but it's such beautifully written women's fiction. I will talk about that later, and I'll pull out some quotes that really hit me. I started sobbing. That book is 5-star for me. So just a little sneak peek to that one. But those types of books where it's it can be a little bit of fantasy, can be a little bit of women's fiction. I just need it to have some real depth to it. And it's not I'm knocking romance novels. I still would love to sit down and read a romance novel. I just haven't found any recently that have been gripping me. And my authors that I do love aren't putting anything out for the rest of the year. How dare you? And so now I am just trying to find books that naturally is enjoyable for me. So that's kind of where I'm at, reading update wise. But then the trailer for Sunrise and the Reaping came out. Guys, this is one of the issues of being an adult now. I saw this trailer dropped when I was at work. I was on my lunch break, and I'm having to act like a normal human being when I'm truly having a freak out on the inside in the middle of my office. So I'm sitting there and I'm just hold it together. And I'm internally, I'm what the heck has just happened? What is going on? What is going on? And I'm truly freaking out. And so I really had to control myself, and I was proud of myself. I was pretty dang good. I was this is nothing. And then I got home, and then I continued my freak out watching every single trailer, edit, on the planet. My God, these people work fast. When I tell you this trailer was up at 8 a.m. in the morning, by 6 p.m. when I got home, Lionsgate had put out an edit. Every single edit was magnificent by every editor. These people there needs to be like an editor award for TikTok because these are crazy. The music choices, okay, using All Too Well. I truly was like, no, this is a cry. I started crying to the All Too Well one. All Too Well with Haymitch and then Katniss, edit comparison. I was like, I'm done. I'm truly emotionally done. That's when I capped out. I was like, you've done too much. And in the comments, someone said, how dare you? Exclamation point. Like, you didn't need to hurt me like that. And that sufficed everything that needed to be said. But okay, for the trailer as a whole, it looks so good. And so, like, I know I did my reaction video a few months ago about, like, the casting on who'd gotten it. And so you can have ideas of how these people are going to look in the actual role, but until you see it, like, in person, like, for the Drusilla, like, I thought she'd do great in it. But oh my God, the creation of her was like spitting of like what I would imagine, like crazy, like person within Hunger Games. It was ridiculous. I was like, oh my God. And then, oh my God, then we saw Plutarch. Like I knew the image wise it would work, but still seeing it was so awesome. And then like, obviously the dude who plays Haymitch just like fits the role perfectly. Like every single image, the image of like, I'll just start crying again. Like I truly cannot. This book series and this movie are going to destroy me. Like I'm so heavily aware that I'm not going to be a normal human being in that theater. I don't think any of my family members or friends can be with me because I truly, oh God, I just don't know. It's gonna be so good. That image of him and Lenore on the clearing. Let's not even get into it because I just know how badly this is going to turn because you give me these people's faces and then it truly felt like I was in a war. I was getting war flashbacks from reading this book because I immediately was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to watch this scene. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to watch this scene. Spoiler alert, the gumdrop scene. The minute I saw them on the clearing and I saw him walking towards her, oh my God, I'll start crying. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that scene without truly becoming heinously sobbing. Anyways, back to where we were. It looked amazing. I digress. It looked freaking amazing. It looked so cool. The actual, because I kept on getting, not spoilers, but like people kept on like posting like the actual like arena where they were filming. And so it wasn't like a surprise of when I saw the arena, but at the same time, like seeing it like in comparison to like how the other arenas have been and how we envisioned it in the book, it looks so like picturesque, except it's such a deadly arena. I was like, what in the hell? It looked like beautiful. Like, oh, I can walk in through a stroll through this place. Except in reality, every single thing has been created to murder these people. So that was wonderful to see, and really a juxtaposition in itself. But it's gonna be so good. And people are also speculating. I obviously, in my mind, maybe I'm wrong, but Maisie and the person who is going to play her, I feel like she's just going to play both of them because they're supposed to be playing identical twins, and that's all the point. So I'd be really surprised if they casted someone else. Like, that's not how it worked. I really don't think that's how it's going to work, but I think she's going to be playing, my speculation is that she's going to be playing both of them because they're identical twins, but I think that's how that's going to work. What else was really crazy from the trailer? I think just getting all those, like, snippets of the people and the music. I'm so excited to figure out who's going to be making the music for this one because the song from Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so good. The song from the last of the Hunger Games movies, Mockingjay, so good. Like, what theme music is going to be haunting me in my dreams for the next year? And the fact it comes out next year, I'm not ready. Like, They did this so quickly, and I have to really appreciate that because I think they're capitalizing off of the hype of just the book coming out and then the drops of the casting. They went into production so quickly, and they were like, we're getting this shit done. This will be in theaters before you know it, before people forget. And that's so awesome. Honestly, if she dropped another book, if she like announced another book like right before the like movie dropped, that would be crazy. I don't know if I want another book. I feel like I talked about this. I don't know if I need another book. That's a lie. I feel like personally, but this might be how she's written it. I don't know. Haven't met the woman, but I feel like if she did one, I would love for it to be on either Mag's games or just how Plutarch came to be. Because I think those are two people in two situations that we need more context on. Because Mag specifically, because hers, she still knew about like the original games and like how it all came to be with Snow. So she knew about that games from Ballad of Songbird and Snake. And so she was in that era. And that, I think hers might have been another Quarter Quell. Maybe? I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but hers might have, it was a special games. I feel like hers was, I remember reading that. And so I would love to get a little bit more context there. Like when was the first campaign or flag done? And so what went on there? And then also getting a little bit more context on Plutarch, because I never know if I'm supposed to like this man or hate this man, but he's the definition of like in the room where it happens. Like the song from Hamilton, like I want to be in the room where it happens. And so he wants to be in that room to destroy it. But why did he want to destroy it in the first place? He's from the capital. But we're like, maybe people are saying like the Heavensby from like the original like Songbird and Ballad of Snake, the girl that was in that film may have been like a ancestor of his. I don't know. That's why like I need more context because this man is so hard to pin down whether or not I like him or whether or not he is truly a mastermind of a mastermind that's kind of evil. Like he did things for good, but he also did some things that like I can't justify. So I'm like, why? Like what, how did he come to be? How did he come to be? And I feel like we need a little bit more background there. Kind of similar to how we got Snow's background. I feel like I need to know, who is this human? Should I like him? Should I hate him? But that's also might be a part of like why she's written it this way, that we have to come up with our own conclusions on whether or not he is someone to be trustworthy or someone to be admired. But I digress. The Sunrise on the Reaping trailer was magnificent. I truly was freaking the heck out, and it was just awesome. And I cannot wait to see the film, and I think it's gonna be just so much fun. I can't think of anything else to like pinpoint on in the trailer that I think you guys would be interested in. All I know is that it was just so good. It was so good. And honestly, those edits were magnificent. Magnificent. Like, what was one of my favorite edits? One of my favorite ones was the All Too Well one. Anyone where they're showing the comparison between Katniss and Haymitch just really will throw me. Like this, like I think they did one scene. There was an edit where it was the original scene with Snow in the field, and then Haymitch and Lenore in the field, and then Katniss and Peeta in the field at the end of the movie. So that field that we all see in each of them by like the hanging tree kind of vibe. In each one. And it was like the progression of like, okay, we're finally free. But like that middle point of seeing them all together, I was like, this is so wrong. Like it's like I just like we've gone from hate, like truly like seeing the human in Snow in that first one, like understanding where he's come from, but also understanding that he is just evil. Like he's made his choices and now he's grabbing onto that power as long as he fucking can. And then you get to Haymitch's games and you truly see, no, he's gone full dark mode and doesn't care anymore, and he's ready to murder someone. He's not ready to murder someone, he has murdered people and he's going to continue murdering people. And it's just like, God, you just hate the guy. Like you just start hating the guy again. I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna try with all my might to watch all of the original Hunger Games trilogy. I know this is going to be a surprise. I never watched the original Hunger Games. I feel like I may have said this in the reaction video. I personally just knew it would be too dark for me. Like it's it's dark in itself. Even the coloring, you can look at it, it's dark. It gets a little, it doesn't get lighter in any sense when you get to Catching Fire, but like the lighting gets lighter. And so I feel like that makes a difference to me. I'm a really big lighting person. And so like the original Hunger Games, I feel like I need to watch to understand truly where we are going to be in Haymitch's games. So I'm going to try to push through and watch that one without sobbing, which is going to be a futile effort. But I'm going to try to push through that one. And then I'm going to watch, obviously, Catching Fire. Catching Fire is one of my favorite movies on the planet. Truly. And it's a comfort movie. It used to be a comfort movie before I knew all the deep depths of all these things that people used to laugh at me like, what? How is that a comfort movie? They're killing each other. I don't know. The comedy just hits. The comedy hits in that one so much. That scene with Effie, Katniss, and Peeta on the steps walking up to the palace at the end of the tour when she's like, smiles up, stars bright, that I'm talking to you, Katniss. And then Peeta says something. He's like, oh, it's sparkling. Effie's just like, and what does she say? She's like, aptitude. It was just like the acting. Effie was the comedic relief that we just needed in that movie. Like her and Peeta like really brought it, like very nicely done. So that one is my favorite about all the films. And then Mockingbird Part 1, I think was the hardest for me to watch. It was just really painful. And then Part 2 was just like, God, we've really gotten this far and they're all still dying. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to do it for a rewatch, but it's gonna be interesting. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, I said I was going to give you guys some book racks. So we're in the holiday season. For me, tomorrow is December 1st when I'm filming this. So excited. So some holiday books, holiday authors I think you guys should look at. Anything by Portia McIntosh. Love her books. She's a British author, but she really brings in like really good holiday books. Really any one of her books are great, I think, to hop into if you're like looking for a quick read. I think they're like 300 to 400 pages, but they're like, it's good. Like it's a romance novel where it's not like the typical, it's kind of typical, but like it's still leaning a little bit further into women's literature. I think a little bit more than heavy romance, but it's a really good book. I think one of the ones I'm gonna read is like All Snowed In Holiday. Let me look for it. I put it on a list, I think. Like my next one to be read. Let's see. Portia McIntosh, what am I reading by you? Snow Place Like Home. That's what it is. Snow Place Like Home. I know. A little bit cheesy, but Snow Place Like Home. And then I think I might also read, which one? One Wild Night, which is also like another holiday one of hers. Another author that I really like, and I don't think she's come out with anything like super recently, but if you haven't already read it, Catherine Walsh's books, specifically Snowed In, and then what was the other one? I'm looking them up right now. Catherine Walsh. Oh yeah, Snowed In. Love that one. And it's on Kindle Unlimited, so hey, quick plug there. Sponsor me. Please. That would be so much fun. Oh, actually, no, she's come out with something, another one too. I love all of Catherine Walsh's books. They're so good. Like, it's like one of those romance ones. I wouldn't say it's up there with like Catherine Center, but like they're very good romance books. And so Snowed In, Holiday Romance, those are her two Christmas ones specifically. Must reads. They're so much fun and you're gonna like love it. It's kind of interconnected. I don't know. And plus they're both like, they're not in this country. It's like they're flying to like Europe and stuff like that. So that's cool. So it just gives it a little bit of another fun vibe. What else? She also has like a collection, which I've got to read this one. It's Merrily Ever After. So it's a bunch of different stories all in one. And so that's fun. That's a fun read. I might read that one actually. I haven't read that one yet. And so that's going to be cool. And then all of her other books too, highly recommend, like the One Night Only or The Rebound or The Matchmaker. All of them are so good. Like I think I read those all consecutively last year and they were so much fun to read. It's so good. And I think like almost all of her books are on Kindle Unlimited too. So that's also a great place to look. Another one, which I'm going to read this year, I don't know what has like stopped me. I just haven't been in the mood, I should say, but like at the same time, I'm always in the mood for a murder mystery, is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ally Carter. If you know me and Ally Carter have been like this for basically 10 years of my life. I read The Gallagher Girls Academy. Like, if you've ever read that book series, that is what truly got me back into reading when I was a kid, because I did like a drop off. We're gonna get into the lore now. I did like a drop off of reading when I was kind of like in elementary school. Like, I liked reading, but I didn't really know or like have like a strive to be like, oh, I'm gonna come home and read, or like I have a book series or authors that I actually like. I wasn't like old enough for that, really, I felt like. And then I hit middle school and we had to get a book like to read for like an assignment. And I just picked up this. I literally remember exactly where I was. I was in the Half Price Books near my house. My dad took me and I was walking through the aisle for the young adult. And I'm a terrible, like, I judge a book by a cover person. Like, if the cover is bad, you're not gonna get me to read it. It really, because like that's a whole part of the story. If you cannot find a good cover, or at least something semblancing a good cover, how much effort did you actually put into the book for me? Is my idea. But if I found like it was so cool, and it was like In From the Cold or something like that. It was like the fourth book of the Gallagher Girls Academy. And I didn't realize it was a series, so I just picked it up and I started from there. And from the first page, it had me gripped. I was like, this is so good. And so that's what got me back into it. I've read every single one of Ally Carter's books when I was a kid. And so that was like my entire childhood. Still have a like shelf dedicated to her. Oh my gosh, yes. I still have a shelf dedicated to her. It's right here. It's all the Gallagher Girls books. She had another one called High Society, which I got that one too. And then she had another series called All Fall Down. And then she had some one-off books too. So I have an entire shelf dedicated to it. And I didn't realize she was still like, because when I like originally had gotten back into reading even more when I was like in high school, I didn't realize she had come out with more books then. And so I didn't know, and I just found that out recently. And that's my next read is one of hers. It's The Blonde Who Came In From the Cold. It's such an Ally Carter book. I'm like, this is such a kind of one of her books. I'm so excited. It's basically like, it's giving Gallagher Girls book, but like adult version. So I'm really excited to read that one. And she also has The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year book. And so I'm really excited to read that one. I've heard great things. All of the booktubers and book TikTokers that I follow have really been recommending that one for the past year or so. And I never got into it, and I really want to read it this year. So that's also on the list. And I have that on ebook version too. And so that's great. Another one added to the list. And I think that's really all the like normal Christmas book recommendations that I have. Definitely Portia McIntosh, anything Catherine Walsh, and honestly, Ally Carter has some fun ones in there too. Those are the ones that like, if you haven't read, you must read. Ooh, another person, Jennifer Peel. Let me check. Jennifer Peel. Yes, Jennifer Peel. I haven't read her recent ones, but I always loved her holiday books. They were so much fun. And honestly, any one of her books are like just really fun. The last one that I read from her that was a holiday, I think was Holiday X-Files or My Xmas Emergency. Honestly, any of them, they're so much fun. Like, her books, they're very fast, very cute. She has a few deeper ones in some other series, but these ones specifically for the holiday version are just like a lot of fun to read. My Holiday Xmas, it's literally about a woman who got cheated on and then wanted to delete her ex from her life. So she literally made a business going through photos and deleting people from images. It's such an it's hilarious. I was laughing my head off during that book. And so highly recommend anything Jennifer Peel and that like holiday series too. And that's on Kindle Unlimited. So that's another great one. I was going to tell you guys about my recent books that I really liked. Water break. I can't tell which was the last one that I told you guys about during my last video. It could have been It's a Love Story. It could have not. All I know is, I'll start with It's a Love Story just in case. But I gave that one a 5-star. So good. So good when I tell you. So good. I was obsessed. It was really cute. It was exactly what I wanted from an Annabelle Montague book. Sometimes, like her earliest ones, like Nora Goes Off Script, me and that one have beef. I did not like that one at all, but I loved Summer Romance, and I even reread that this last year. So good. And so It's a Love Story is more on the side of like her most recent writing styles, which I really like. And I gave that one a 5-star. I read that one in October. It was really good. And then I was like, let's read it. I was going through the slump, obviously. And so I was like, let's read something that you kind of already know the plot, but you want to read it in book version. So one of my favorite comfort movies is Brooklyn. It's with Saoirse Ronan. I don't know how to say her name, but all I know is it's so good. It's such a beautifully made film, and it's cozy. It's a little bit of sad. It's got great drama. It's got a really sweet love story in it. If you love the film, do not read the book. Do not read the book. I'm telling you, I gave that one a 2.5 stars. It was terrible. At all points in time, I was like, you don't even like this man. Why are you marrying? Like, what is the thought process here? I'm like, even at the end of the book, like at the end of the movie, she goes back because she realizes she really does love him. She really wants to spend her life with him, and she needs to stop getting stuck in her ways of like being a people pleaser and stuff like that. At the end of the book, she's fully ready to get married to someone else. The only reason she goes back is because she gets caught, and she's like, well, I guess I gotta go back to him now. Like, that's not... That's literally her countenance going back. I'm like, that's not... That's like truly terrible. And then I read apparently it's a book series, and so I read the blurb from the next one. She hates her life. She like fully hates her life, and I'm like, this is terrible. I truly didn't need to know this, actually. The book doesn't exist to me anymore. Only the movie does. Because I was like, what? Like, excuse me? It was very upsetting. I really was struggling to finish. I was like, where are you going? I'm like, at some point she's gonna do the switch up and really understand the consequences to her actions. No, not even close. Not even close. There was a scene where in the movie she's talking to her old boss at the end, and she's just like, yes, I am married and I am happy with it. I do need to go home. You are nothing in my life, something like that. In the book, she cowers away like, damn, she knows. I have to go home. Like, wait. I was like, whoever read that book and then decided to make it into an adaptation said, I don't feel comfortable with that. And as they should. They made a magnificent movie. If you've never seen it, I think it's on HBO Max. So good. Oh my god, so good. It's such a comfort movie of mine. Ignore the book. Highly ignore the book. The next one I read, because my Libby finally gave me some sort of a gift, because I've been on lists I've been on a list to read the Not Quite Dead Yet book by Holly Jackson for literally, I've got to say 4 months. And I'm still 3 weeks away from getting the book. I'm like, I'm really in a battle. I just want to read this book so bad. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I finally won with Libby. And so I got Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I had read her first 2 books and loved them. I gave this one like a 4.25. It was pretty good. It was very sweet. It wasn't my favorite out of all of them. I don't know why. I just don't, like, it was very well written in the way that they explained Alzheimer's and dementia and the way it can affect the people around them and things like that. And I truly understood that. It was more of a relationship that I was like, I didn't love it. It was cute. I enjoyed reading it. I think it was a good one to follow up Brooklyn, obviously, because that sucked. But me and Brooklyn have beef, honestly. But it was good. It was a good book. It was nice. I don't know what else to say about it. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's one that I would purchase from my bookshelf, but it was good. I gave it 4.25. I would highly recommend. It just wasn't my cup of tea, kind of the story behind it. What was the other one? Wayward. I talked to you guys about this at the beginning. I loved that book. I need to pull it up on Kindle. I loved that book. I truly was sobbing. I finished it at work at lunch, and I really had to hold it together. I highlighted so many things. Like, this is how I know I'm getting into like books that I really love. I'm back to highlighting. It was so good. Like, okay. Exactly. I opened it up, I downloaded it on my phone so I could read some of the quotes and things I had highlighted. If it starts off with a quote that just really connects with it, I am such, like, if you put a quote at the beginning of the book, you've got me. You have got me. I've talked about this before. I just love the connection with poetry. Like, how can you not love it? You've really put some thought process behind it if you found like a quote or a poet that just connects the line through with these books. And so the one I highlighted at the very beginning was, the connection between and among women are the most feared, the most problematic, and the most potentially transforming force on the planet. Adrienne Rich. Like, that's like, when I read that, I was like, oh, I'm about to read a powerful book right now. Like, this book is about to be really good. And it's just amazing. Like, the connection between all three women in these generations, honestly heartbreaking, because I'm like, you would think like after this one generation, they'd be all good. No, it progressively got sadder, and they weren't like remembered in a way that we like wish they would have. They made it out. That's the joy of it all. They made it out. Like, at the very beginning, you didn't know, like, with like the oldest one from like the 1600s, you obviously, when you hear, spoilers, I'm really getting into this book, when you hear about like where she is in a witch trial, you're like, obviously this is going to end with her dying in this trial. And then the middle one, obviously, like, oh, like she's like on a path that's gonna end badly. And on the end one, she's escaping an abusive marriage. And so you're just like, God, like, this is just like, this is bad, bad, and bad. And it's so beautiful in the way that they were able to give them their own sorts of happy endings, because the one from the 1600s, she was able to escape that and also help someone who was her friend when needed. And like, they have powers, and they, in all points in times, they use their powers for good. It may have hurt someone else, but they used it for good. And so seeing that, I think, was really interesting. And then the middle one, escaping that horrific father of theirs, and just having, like, being disowned, but also being able to keep the one thing that was theirs, which was the cottage. And then having that be the place where her great niece was able to escape to when she needed a place, was just beautiful. Okay, what was the other one? This was from, do I not have another one earlier than that? Or maybe not. Okay. So this was later in the book. It was, wayward they called us when we would not submit and would not bend to their will, but we learned to wear the name with pride. Because that's their last name, Wayward, and that's what they, like, the meaning with it is the wild inside, and their connection with nature, and like, that's deep. Like, wayward they called us when we would not submit to their will. We weren't gonna bend. We weren't going to be the people that they wanted us to be, but we learned to wear that name with pride. Like, you're not gonna tell me I'm wayward and it's gonna be a bad thing. Like, that's so, like, that's beautiful. And I feel like that's definitely a full theme throughout the book, like them trying to discover how to wear the wayward name with pride. Like, yes, I'm wayward and I'm proud of it. I'm not what anyone's gonna put me into a mold. I'm gonna be who I want to be in this moment. And then what was the other one? And this one was from the middle one. It says, "You are not afraid, are you?" This is from Violet, the middle year. So the great aunt. "You are not afraid, are you?" she asks to Graham. They won't hurt you this time." Graham says, "I know." He puts his arms around her. They stood for a still moment, listening to the car rumble away. Like, in the end, like, this is when it started, because this is towards the end of the book. This is when I truly started like, ooh, I'm gonna have to hold in the tears, because like, he decided, I'm not I'm not going to be a continuation of this perpetuation. I'm going to stay with you and help you. And I'm not afraid. Like, they won't hurt you this time. And he's like, I know. And I'm still not going. Like, that's a good sibling. That's a good sibling right there. I was like, how dare you? I'm truly sobbing. And what was the other one? Okay, I'm pulling them up now. Oh my god, yes. Okay, so each of them reached their own justice towards the end. So the middle one we saw at first, and that's the one where her brother stayed with her and they lived in the cottage and all of that. And then the oldest one from the end specifically, like, found a way to like continue with her life. She like got untried, like someone helped her out and didn't like got her off from being like on trial for being a witch. And so she got to live. And the way she ended it, it's like, even if they come and they can't make me leave my home ever, they do not frighten me. After all, I am wayward and wild inside. I literally was like, these people need to stop because this is truly heinous. These are heinous crimes. It's so beautiful though. Like, I'm wayward inside and you can't hurt me. This is the one where I thought, this is cruel. This is too beautifully cruel. You need to stop. It's when Kate, the most recent descendant, had her child. And she's like, Kate names her Violet after her great aunt, Violet Altha, which is the oldest descendant that we get to see from this 1960s, the witch. Violet Altha. So their names live on, even though their names were like kind of like erased from like their family and those around them. And I was like, Kate named them Violet Althea. I was like, girl. This is when I was like, I'm at work. I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Like, that's so beautiful. And I was like, it was too perfect. Actually, no, the first quote I told you actually was from the very end of the book. And that's when I was like, this is the most beautiful way to end it. You understood where you're coming from. And just to like give us like that last thought, the connection between and among women are the most feared, the most problematic, and the most potentially transforming force on the planet. And she said that throughout the book, as she should. Such a great one. I gave it 5 stars. It's probably one of my top reads of the year. So good. So good. Oh, Lord. That was such a good one. And then I went to some not so good ones. But I will say, I think I found another one. I like this author, maybe on the same level, except a little bit more than Catherine Cowles. This one's Willow Aster, which is good. I needed another one where I can sink my teeth into it, where like if I need a palate cleanser, I'm gonna go back to that one. I just couldn't read any more Catherine Cowles books. But this one was good. It was good. It was Mad Love. I gave this one a 3 star. It had me kicking and giggling during parts of it. I was like, oh, this is good. This is a fun, happy one. I was like, oh, I want to read this, which is good when you're in a slump and you need something to read. And then I went to Secret Love. And I did have that same feeling. I gave that one a 2.75. I think it was the plot. It wasn't my fave. It was like the tutor and the dad, and I wasn't like, it was just like at some points I was like, I'm just getting annoyed reading this. And we stop. I feel like this book could have been, I think the issue is like, I felt like this book could have been done in half the amount of like pages, because it was close to 400. This could have been done maybe 300, 250. Like, we were adding things and I'm like, this isn't adding anything. It's truly just becoming annoying now. They're having the same issue 6 times and I think we're done. It's run its course specifically. And I don't think there needs to be anything added. The next one I read, I got a new author, Ennis Perkins. So good. This is when I really started like try to find more book recommendations. I'm like, who am I gonna read now? Like, I need something. And so Ennis Perkins was recommended, and it's Where Time Stands Still. I gave that one a 4 star. I read that one like about a week or 2 ago. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Let me see if I have any quotes from that one. I may have highlighted some from that one. Okay, I didn't highlight anything from that one, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Like, this is another, there was like a lot of theme of Alzheimer's with a lot of my books recently. I don't know what was going on. This one was interesting. It was very nice in that I thought it was cute that it was like someone like she'd met previously and then they randomly met again and she's helping the family. At the end, I was like, it was like that miscommunication thing where they're like, oh, I feel like I've got to sacrifice. I don't want you to be a burden. But you're just like, God, can this just be over? We know where this is meant to be going, so can we stop? Because this is just adding something that's not necessary. But I still gave it like a 4-star. I would highly recommend this book. It's good. It's very sweet. It's got romance, but still, I feel like this one leans more on the romance side, definitely, than other literature. And then I went back to Litfic. I have never read this. I don't know how I've gone this far without reading this book. It's been one of those top ones every single year you get back into reading. People are recommending this specific book, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have to change my scoring for that one because originally I gave it a 4.25. I think I have to change it to like probably 4.75. It's so close to a 5-star for me. Like, so close to a 5-star for me. Okay, I just updated my review. It's so close to a 5-star. I highlighted so much stuff. So much stuff. It was so beautiful. And like at the end, I didn't think I was gonna cry. Like I was reading and I was like, this is a lot of back and forth through time. Like I'm a fan of a time jump, but at the same time, it's not my favorite thing. I'd rather stay in one timeline and we're getting information that way instead of doing a time pass, getting information, jumping back to this timeline. And I'm like, it was needed. It was necessary. I felt like the very beginning of the book was slow. And that was what I think I was struggling the most. And that's why it's not a full 5-star because I did struggle a little bit at the very beginning. But when it got to like, I would say 30-40% through the book, I was pulled in. And that was when she met the other person who had the curse. And so it was so beautiful. Let me pull up some of the quotes that I did from that one too. But it was so beautiful. And at the very end, I was like, oh, I didn't think you'd get me. You got me though. You got me. I was like, you tricked me. I didn't think I was gonna like you. But I think this is at the very, very beginning. Very, very beginning. As a book reader, I thought this quote was just really nice. Books she has found are way to live 1,000 lives or to find strength in a very long one. That's just like, I feel like that's the essence of a reader. Like you get to live so many different lives by diving into these books and understanding all of these people. And so having that and then having the ability to live like a very long life, having known all this information, I feel connected to all the books that I read. And so having that connection, I think is just really sweet and really nice. And I thought the quote just really highlighted that so much, especially for her life, where she at the very beginning didn't have the ability to like read or write, but she through her very long life learned, and then books became a solace for her because she was able to dive into them when she had nothing else she could do. And I thought that was really beautiful. And then I think this was after one of the times that that the person like on the anniversary like was trying to mess with her and like make her surrender and really give up. And she at the very end she laid down, she closed her eyes and she was like, okay, like everyone, like you wake up and you're just like, God, gotta start this day again. But the way this was written, I just felt it. It was like, so she opens her eyes and starts again. She's like, I'm not giving up. Like that type of vibe. Like you have to open your eyes and just start again. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was just really nice. Some of them aren't like very particular to the book. I just really enjoyed the writing. I thought the writing was very poetic and very beautifully written. So I thought a lot of these quotes very, very mesh. Okay, and then this one. This is one of Henry's perspectives. It's like, and then one day he meets a girl. She walks into the store, steals a book, and when he catches her in the street, she turns to look at him. And there's no frost or film, no wall of ice, and just clear brown eyes and a heart-shaped face, 7 freckles scattered across her cheeks like stars. I just thought that was sweet. Cause like he had like his, I feel like is a little bit, his story was a little bit more dark because he was on the precipice of like not being here anymore. And then the curse came and he was given that one extra year of life. And so he had a new lease. But his specifically is, I think, is a little bit more darker. And so she really was able to save him. He saved her, but then they saved each other in a sense. And so I thought that was really beautiful the way he could describe like when his life fully changed. It wasn't when he was cursed, it was when he met her. That's when it changed. And I also didn't see the twist at the end. I thought, okay, Addie's just gonna surrender now so that he can live. I didn't think she would actually go with him, but she went with him. And her revenge was so nice. She was just like, he made the worst mistake of his life. Like, he doesn't realize my entire purpose now is to destroy his life. Like, that was magnificent. I do have to say, because she was like, he made this deal. He didn't listen to himself. He, like, I now get to be the one to torment him to get up. Like, that's roles reversed. That was beautiful. And then which one was this one? This is when she kept on going back to like her old village, and I thought that was so sad. Like the initial her family not recognizing her, that initially that cuts, and then each time like they're gone, more of her ancestors, more of her connection to life and people who actually knew her at some point is gone. And in this last one, I think she's at Estelle's house. She's trying to write in the like grass and the sand, and she's like, the ink unwrites, the wound uncuts, the house unbuilds. And it's like that level of like she really can make no significant mark herself onto the world, and that it just unwrites, uncuts, and unbuilds. She's unable to do it, and that's such a horrible thing to do to a person. Like, even if he's like, oh yeah, I technically, like, I feel like every other person he cursed got a better rap than she did. Like, was she the first? Because honestly, he did her very bad. Like, what do you mean? Like, that one specifically, I'm like, you gave her unlimited life, but made her be in torture the entire time. At least with the other patrons, you were like, I'll give you a year. You can do all this magic and leave your mark on the world. None of that. I don't think he realized, like, obviously he didn't realize what he was doing, but he made one of the most terrible curses for her and then was like, no, I love you. No, you don't. No, you don't. Anyways, this is one that's had me crying because I didn't see it. I didn't see how the name The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was going to come into play. And when she got him to write down her story, so she was at least some part of her will live on, I didn't realize, I thought it was just like for his personal use. I didn't realize he was gonna like make it into a book. And so when that happened, and he was showing it to his friend, I think it was V, and she was reading it, and he was just like, it feels like you were in it. And he was like, I know, it's for him so he never forgets. And she literally tells him, never forget me, and he won't because it's written down. And then he calls it The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I was like, oh, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. And then the way he writes the very ending for her, it's like open-ended. So he never knows, and like the reader never knows how it came to be. I thought was really nice and very tragic. But in any sense, like at the very end, yeah, that was the last thing I highlighted. It was the inscription. This is when I started crying. I was like, ooh, that cuts deep. She's able to see the book when she's traveling. And she picks it up and she opens it up, and the dedication reads, I remember you. So like even through all this time, like she still knows like there is someone out there that knows her. She has left some mark on this world, even if she has to basically torture this dude for the rest of his life. She has left a mark somewhere in this world. And that I think is what pushes her through. She's like, okay, I can do this. I can make it through the rest of this. And it was just beautiful. I gave that one 4.75 stars now. Highly recommend. Such a good book. And then I just finished one book last night. I started it on the 28th, so Friday night. I started it Friday night and then finished it Saturday night. So good. It was A Risk Gone Forever, N.S. Perkins. I gave that one like a 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. It wasn't like N.S. Perkins specifically, I think, focuses on like stories with like medical issues, because apparently I think with like the person who was recommending it, they mentioned she's a doctor, and so she focuses on more on like the medical things and then puts romance stories like in it. And this one, she was the caretaker for this guy's mother, and it was just very sweet. I thought it was sweet. It was like one of those sweet reads when I was like, oh, this is sad, but at the same time, I'm like, ooh, they're finally getting together, or they're finally meeting, or they're smiling at each other's jokes. It was very cute. It was a very cute read. Depressing at some points, but cute. I would recommend that too. But yeah, those are all the books that I finished. I'm officially at the 118 mark from my 130, so we are on its way. But yeah, it is Sunday now, so I am gonna go cook, clean up, reset. But so happy to just chat with you guys about my random book thoughts and all the different things that I've been thinking about and reading lately, and some updates and my reactions. So love chatting with you guys, and I'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.